Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my latest video. I've decided to just to try and make a rifle build, seeing as I've been playing with assault rifles and LMGs basically since hitting TU1 back in the day. Up till end game I was using rifles the whole time. That's before I hit level 30. Um, Not much damage on this one. Let me hit the veteran feel. I mostly do body shots anyway, so that's why I'm doing body shots here. Just put it on elite. Maybe better even name that more armor. Just reset that. Not that bad, eh? For low, this is actually a low stat build, as you will see soon. So I'm not using any damage to elites. I'm using the technician. I'm still busy maxing out the trees, so my tree isn't maxed out yet. I'm using that to boost the skill power so I could have my healing up, and that's just to annoy people, the seekers. I'm using the classic M1A rifle, 108 base, basket, which isn't active, but I don't have another rifle that's that strong, so that's why I'm using this one. I'm using stability, minus 5% accuracy. I'm using five rounds extra mag and the long underbarrel rail for the laser pointer to spot targets without actually pulsing them. Secondary, I'm using the custom P416, 13.9k damage, 825 RPM, 50 mag, preservation. Not the best. That's not actually the gun I want to use, but it's the only one I have with high enough damage that fits into this build. I'm using putting stability on the 20 rounds rifle, the link laser pointer as well. That's why I'm not using the FAMAS or any other gun. I'm using the P416 because I can use the laser pointer on it as well, so that's why I'm using it. This doesn't actually matter. I'm just using it for protected reload. That's why it's there. I'm using the Night Watcher Killer Guard mask. The two-piece killer gives me 5% total armor, 20% hazard protection, as you can see there. I rolled 47% hazard protection here. The mask came with just 17% skill haste and perfect spotter, which is active, and Hive and Seeker utility upgrade I'm using the other mods. So before you say anything, I'm just using Unstoppable Force because it's the only chest I have which will allow me to have 5 yellows. That's the only reason why I'm using it, otherwise I don't have a chest at all. So it's not the best. I don't actually want to use Unstoppable Force, but it's the best I have because I have 11% weapon damage, 32,153 armor, Unstoppable Force. I'm not going to read that, and I have my two defensive slots there, mods, armor, explosive resistance, total armor, and the bottom one is armor, total armor, and armor and kill. This is because those are the best I have that gives me the highest armor gain, and utility slot I use that one for the reload speed. Okay, for the holster I'm using an overload for my 10% rifle damage on the 1-piece set. Crit chance, I would actually prefer that being health, but I have 750 because my health is really low. I would prefer to have health on here, but I'm looking for another overload with health that I can roll the skill power onto. And they have my other defensive. There's 30% explosive resistance, 3,945 armor, and 4% total armor. I'm not using the two-piece overload for the 7.5% total armor because I can't get another overload that fits into this build nicely to keep all my yellows as well. I'm using the killer that has 11% total armor, and it fills up my 20% hazard protection. I have a 30% hazard protection I loaded on here with insulated, and they have my two mods with explosive resistance and total armor and armor. So why, you might ask, why I'm using a Jarl gear? Because it's the only Jarl glove I have that fits in here, and because I need that 10% hazard protection from a 1-piece Jarl. Because I'm not using the Hollow Man, I need that extra 10% to fill out the 100%. That's why I'm using a Jarl gear glove with 13% rifle damage, which I got from a Motherly glove, which I rolled. 3.5% health. That doesn't actually matter. Doesn't matter to me whether I have a blue on there or not. I would actually prefer yellow on there. And I have a capacitor 50% skill duration that keeps my hive up for actually very long. So my hive stays up for quite a bit. Sorry. And I'm using for the backpack, I'm using Alp Summit. That fills out my two-piece Alp Summit. So I have skill haste and skill power. 20% skill haste, 10% skill power. I have 18.5% total armor and 18, 9 and 5 armor. I would prefer that armor to be higher. Spark is not going to be active. I would actually prefer something like tech support or one of those. I would prefer to have one of those there, but this is the best one I have at the moment. And 15% armor with hardened, and then I have my yellow slot there for 4% reload speed. So in total I have 10% reload speed gain, which I'm getting from the pieces. And then I have my offensive slot, which is 1% weapon damage, 4% rifle damage. I have actually a 1 and a 5 here, I could actually slot in there, but I'll do that later. But I would actually prefer, okay, on the ropes wouldn't work. I would prefer having something else. Okay, tech support won't work. Okay, tech support can actually work, but there are other options I have. But then my armor will dip. I have pieces that can increase my health, but this is the best combination I could find to have perfect spotter, because much of my damage comes from perfect spotter, which I'm losing by having all the armor pieces, all the blues. So I'm sacrificing some quite a few red slots there, because here I have a true patriot I could use, but then I lose yellow. So there's quite a few pieces I could use. I was using a berserk piece. If I put a vigilance on there, I've struggled with the reds. I can't get 7 reds and 5 yellows. If I put berserk on there, I can use that easily, but then it doesn't do anything for me, because it only works for the shotgun, SMG, LMD or assault rifle. It doesn't do anything with the rifle. Or I have and I don't want unbreakable or perfect unbreakable. That's nothing in PvP, which is what this build is for. I'm trying to make it for PvP. Let me just look at the stats view here. So 108 weapon damage, 71,330 for PvP damage. Crit chance is not a crit build, so don't care about that. I actually want this a bit higher. I actually want it a lot higher, but that's the best I can do for now. 12% all weapon. I would prefer this. This was a bit higher with my previous iteration of the build. It was about 10 or 15% higher. I had it at 30%. My rifle I had at 50 odd, but then I didn't have 5 yellows, so that was my problem. I didn't have the right pieces to have all that damage, all the red slots, and 5 yellows. And I don't want to use the BTSU gloves to get the yellows, because if I lose 13% rifle damage, which I could actually make up somewhere. So I could try doing that as well, but then I lose that 10% as a protection. Then I'll probably have to fit a Jarl in somewhere else, or I need to use I think it's Murakami that gives you that as a protection. I would have to slot in that as well. Well, this one, my as a protection is maxed out. I didn't show that. That's 42 rifle, no damage to elites. Where is that now? Max health, explosive resistance, has a protection, protected against all that stuff. And then I didn't show my skills, what I have here on here. I have 265, I have skill power, 69.6% charges, and another 22% charges, which makes it at 48, range 8 meters. I'm not sure how well this would heal me in PvP, but in PvE this works actually quite well. It heals me quite nicely in PvE, because I use this now for PvE. I just got bored of assault rifles. Just spitting out bullets. You actually have to aim a lot more careful with a rifle, because a shot that you miss could mean your death. Every bullet could be insta death if you miss. I'm using this explosive not to actually apply the bleed or not. I'm just using explosive for explosive damage. I just want to blow people up or blow NPCs up. So I have 66%, 66.9 damage, 93.8 skill, and that skill power rounds it out, so I can use those too. So that's the build. Just reset this. I'm just firing a few bullets here. Let's see what happens by the head. See, I don't need the other headshots. I just want to try this in PvE because I've been trying assault rifles. As you can see, my other videos, assault rifles. There's LMGs in there. There's an SMG here and there, but I haven't done a rifle build yet. So this is my iteration of a rifle build, which still needs a lot of improvement. But until I have those pieces, then I'll do an updated video on my progress with this. But thanks for watching. See you guys in the dark zone. Cheers.